and welcome to Explore D&D. Today, I want to take a look at how grappling works in 5th edition, and how you can use it to control enemies on the battlefield during combat encounters. Now, one of the most important parts of grappling that I see people make mistakes with is that grapples use the attack action rather than being classified as their own action. Not only does this mean that players can make a grapple attempt with their main action only, this means that it cannot be used if you get an opportunity attack. However, it also means that it is affected by things like Barbarian's Rage and the extra attack feature. This means that if you play a fighter or another class that gets the extra attack, you can make multiple grapple attempts or a regular attack followed by a grapple attack, all using a single attack action. There are a few other stipulations within the official text for the grapple action that can get overlooked by some players as well, so I want to take a moment to touch on those. Firstly, you can only grapple creatures that are within your reach, which will typically be 5 feet unless you play a bugbear. Another smaller aspect is that creatures can only grapple other creatures that are up to one size larger than them. Since the vast majority of player characters are medium-sized, this means that players tend to only be able to grapple large-sized creatures or smaller, such as ogres. The final requirement for grappling is that your character must have at least one free hand. This means that if you play a character that wields a one-handed weapon and a shield, you'll need to unequip one of them with a bonus action before you make your grapple attempt. However, if you use a two-handed weapon or fight unarmed like a monk, you don't have to worry about this stipulation at all. So, once you're ready to grapple, you do so by making an athletics check, which uses your strength modifier and proficiency bonus if your character is proficient in athletics. Your athletics check is then challenged by the target making either an athletics or an acrobatics check. This represents the creature's ability to either overpower your grapple check or wiggle out of it, since acrobatics uses dexterity in lieu of strength. This helps allow most martial creatures to stand at least a reasonable chance of escaping a grapple attempt. If a grapple attempt is made successfully, whether against an NPC or a player character, the target of the grapple is considered grappled. This is a special status effect that has an array of important effects. The first is that the grappled creature has its speed reduced to 0 and is unable to receive any boosts to their movement, such as from the spell Haste. However, the creature doing the grappling doesn't have such a restriction. They can still move their full movement during their turn and can bring the grappled creature along with them. Even better, there is no restriction to what type of movement they do. This means that you could conceivably grapple a creature and then fly into the sky above a pit of lava and drop them into it without them being able to do anything. One particular popular option to combo with the grapple action is Shove. This allows players to give a grappled creature prone status effect as well, which gives attacks that target the creature advantage while giving the prone creature disadvantage on any attacks that they make. Even better, the only way to ditch the prone status effect is to use half of your movement to stand up, which they won't be able to do because they're grappled. However, a similar effect can also be gained by taking the grappler feat that gives attacks targeting creatures you have grappled advantage. But once a creature is grappled, what are its options? Well, not very much. To be honest, grappling heavily favors the aggressor rather than the defender. When the grappled creature's turn comes around, they get to make another check using their action to escape the grapple, using again either their athletics or acrobatics check against the grappler's athletics. If they fail on that action, then there's really not much that they can do during their turn. Well, that's everything there is to know about how grappling works in 5th edition D&D. Make sure to follow us here at Explore D&D to catch all of our guides in the future.